Welcome to Life is Horror, Episode 8. This will be the Killer Bear in Alien episode. We're going to rank the Alien franchise, do an Alien quiz, talk about some Killer Bear movies like Grizzly from 1976 and Cocaine Bear, which just came out about a week ago now, a little over a week. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And just to do something a little bit different this week, instead of doing the usual news updates, I decided because Scream 6 is about to come out next week. I'm probably not going to do another episode until after Scream 6 comes out. I decided before it comes out, why not talk about some of my predictions and wants, things I want from Scream 6. So yeah, that will be this episode. Grizzly, Cocaine Bear, the Alien franchise, and we're going to talk some Scream 6. So let's start with that. Scream 6, the highly anticipated slasher of 2023. Not highly anticipated for me, but so here's what I want from Scream 6 and my predictions. So I don't really have them in order of like what I want the most or anything. So, all right, here's my predictions. So I'm thinking this time there's going to be one killer, but what I want is for them to do something completely different. I basically want this next Scream movie to not be a Scream movie. I want them to just completely take the formula, rip it up into a million pieces, write it down on paper, rip it up, throw it away, do something different this time. I'm sick of the old formula. Every movie's the same. Let's do something different. How about this time we have like a whole group of ghost face killers? Like maybe they have like a Facebook group. That's how they meet. And now they're in New York attacking these people for whatever dumb reason. Like let's have more than two killers. Change it up a bit. you know. And what I actually would like this time is no ghost face reveal. Again, go against the formula that they set up. We always get that stupid Scooby-Doo mask reveal. They talk for too long, they act retarded, and then they get themselves killed. Let's get rid of that. All right, no ghost face reveal. How about we save that for the next movie? How about Ghostface gets away with it this time? Kills maybe Courtney Cox. I would like to see Courtney Cox get killed in this one. Or not, that's the actress name, Gale Weathers. I want Gale Weathers to die this time. And Samara Weaving is going to be in Scream 6. I would like for her to be the killer. But I have a feeling, my prediction is that she's probably going to be one of the first people to die. I don't want that. I would like for her to be the killer or to just be in the movie for as long as possible because I love Samara Weaving. Kirby, she's coming back from the dead, thanks Scream 5. And so what I think will happen is she will survive. You're not going to bring a character back from the dead. We all thought she was dead. You wouldn't bring her back for Scream 6 just to kill her right away. All right, she's going to be like the Dr. Loomis, like, Ghostface expert in this movie. She's going to help out the new kids. She's like, I've been through this before, so she's going to give them pointers. And, she's going to be in it for a while, I assume. She's probably going to make it to the end of the movie. I would think they're going to have her character survive. I don't think they're going to make her a killer. So one killer, how about this? This is an idea I had that I thought was interesting. If they're going to do the two killer thing again, how about they reveal one killer like in the middle of the movie? Like one killer gets caught like halfway through, and then you think it's over, like, oh, all right, they got the killer, and then there's a second killer. Something like Tenebrae, Dario Argento, something like that, where it's like the middle of the movie, the killer's caught, and you're like, oh shit, this is very early in the movie, but then there's another killer. Just change the formula up a bit. And I think one or both of the Meeks, the twins from part 5, are going to die. At least one of them. If you ask me, the jock should have already been dead in part 5. He got stabbed like 5 times in the gut and was like bleeding on the front lawn for like over an hour in that movie. He should have been fucking dead. It's ridiculous that he's alive. I think the motivation this time around, I think this is more of a want, because I'm sick of these silly, stupid like motives, like, oh, we want to inspire the next stab movie. Like, that was just a ridiculous motive. How about this time it's something like The Frighteners, where it's just like, I just want to have a high body count. Like, just have it be this psycho who he just wants to kill as many people as he can, and that's his motivation. He's just psycho. Doesn't need much of a motive. He's just crazy, or she. Like, I just want to be the best Ghostface. That's the motive. There you go. Simple as that. I want at least one creative, non-knife kill. I want Ghostface to put the knife down for once and pick up a different weapon. I'm sick of the knife. All right, just using the gut in the back and doesn't even kill half the people half the time. Like, it's ridiculous. Put down the knife, use a different weapon. I want a creative kill. Stu Macher, he better be fucking dead. I keep hearing fans talk about he's coming back. No, he's not. He better not. I don't want that. I want them to tone down the meta shit. All right, I know that's part of the, again, that's the formula of the Scream movies. They're all so meta. They're so tongue in cheek. They always are very self aware. Tone it down a bit this time. All right, Sam and Tara will both live more than likely. I don't think they're gonna kill either of them, but if they're gonna kill one of them, I want it to be Sam because she's the weakest actress. Tara played by Wednesday. Now, forget her name. Fuck, whatever. She's the better actress. I like her, so I want her to live. Oh, and another thing I don't want any more Ghost Dad visions. All right, I don't want the Bill Cosby shit. I don't want her seeing Ghost Dad, Billy Loomis, all right, that CG, like de-Asian crap that looked awful in Scream 5, get rid of it. I don't want that no more, all right? Brian Tyler, the composer, use less jump scare, stingers, loud noises, all right? That was in Scream 5 a few times. I don't like that shit. Get rid of that. So yeah, and I predict that even though this is, set in New York City, I bet it's going to take the Jason Takes Manhattan approach and be shot in Canada. I haven't looked up the filming locations, but I bet there's only going to be like one or two scenes that are actually New York. You're probably going to see them run like through Times Square in one scene, and then when they get inside a building, it's a completely different country at that point, made to look like New York. It's going to be Jason Takes Manhattan all over again. I doubt this whole movie will be New York City, but I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I would like to actually see Ghostface in popular New York City locations. Like, oh shit, there's, the Brooklyn Bridge, and Central Park. I would like to see Ghostface in those locations. If you're going to take the franchise there, take advantage of that. Actually use those locations that we all know. Don't be Jason Takes Manhattan again. All right. Speaking of that movie, I bet that movie will be referenced because it's meta. It's very self-aware. Because they're in New York City, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this is just like that scene in Jason Takes Manhattan." Because we see Ghostface stalking them on the train, very similar to that movie. So they're gonna bring it up. I'll be shocked if they don't bring it up. So I think that's all the things. I just want there to be gore. They keep saying that this is like the most vicious, most gruesome Ghostface to date. But then the rating comes out for the movie, and it didn't say anything about gore. What I read was like, oh, it's just bloody violence. It's like, that's all of them. But I want there to be gore. All right, they're saying this guy is 100 times more gruesome and violent than the other ones. You better live up to that. All right. So, yeah, I think that's everything. So, yeah, those are my predictions for Scream 6. Now, let's get into, I guess, the main event here, or one of the main events, the reviews for Grizzly and Cocaine Bear. Let's start with the older one, I guess, Grizzly, from 1976. This movie was directed by William Girdler. He directed Day of the Animals from 1975. And this one is it's basically a Jaws ripoff. It's about an 18-foot grizzly bear figures out that humans make for a tasty treat. I love that plot synopsis. It's as simple as that. You got like a park ranger, this animal expert, and a cop teaming up together to track down this grizzly bear. Sounds familiar. Sounds like Jaws. In Jaws, you had the expert, the animal expert, the boat guy, and the cop teaming up together, three dudes hunting down this creature. It's the same plot. And it even mentions Jaws in the tagline there. It says the most dangerous Jaws in the land. So, and I think it's funny that it says 18 feet of towering fury, but if I remember correctly, in the movie, they specifically point out that the bear is only 15 feet tall. So it's funny that the tagline people in charge of the tagline couldn't get that right. They're like, how tall is he? Fuck that. He's 18 feet now. All right, not 15. 18 feet. That's much scarier. So, all right, let's talk about it. So, this movie succeeds in its cheesiness and the explosive finale. The way they take down the grizzly bear at the end, that's what's iconic about this movie. That's what's memorable about it. They fucking kill the bear, spoiler alert, with a bazooka. And it has Christopher George, love him, from Pieces, all kinds of horror movies back in the day, City of Living Dead. and he takes a bazooka and shoots the bear from like 5 feet away. Somehow doesn't get caught in the blast. Like, it's ridiculous, and the bear just goes up. That's how Cocaine Bear should have ended. If they would have whipped out bazooka, have Ray Liotta bring one there, and then that just would have been amazing. That would have made Cocaine Bear even that much better. I mean, in this movie, it's PG, but there's like a chick who randomly just goes skinny dipping. They're in the middle of like a search. They know there's a killer bear out there. They're looking for like dead people and trying to rescue some people. And she's just like, I'm just gonna go skinny dip in the water. Then there's like a waterfall. She's like, I'm gonna go in the waterfall. I'm gonna skinny dip. Just lay out here naked. Meanwhile, I know there's an 18-foot, supposedly, 15, 18-foot grizzly bear walking around. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, who does that? No one. And even though it's PG, there's so much like gore in this for a PG movie. Like, there is limbs being just smacked off of people and animals. The grizzly bear, like, at one point takes his claw and fucking knocks the head right off of a horse. Knocks a horse's head clean off. That was hilarious. There were some audio issues with this movie. The transfer I watched, I remember the audio not being good. Like, it almost seemed like it wasn't synced right. Like, their lips would be moving, but it's like it was a second or two off. So that was distracting. There's a jarring fast forward shot in here. And what this movie needed was better dialogue and better development of the three lead characters. I just wish there would have been more between them. It's nowhere near the level of perfection that the writing is in Jaws with those three characters. Like, these three characters, when they go out, it's like there's not enough there. They throw in this wife character, and that just seems like filler. Everything with the wife, they don't really do much with that character. So it's not a perfect movie, but it's entertaining. It's definitely watchable. It's not piss poor. There's plenty of other bad Jaws ripoffs, but this is one of the good Jaws ripoffs. This and Piranha. Let's see if there's anything else here. There's a kid that gets attacked and almost killed, but of course, this movie doesn't kill kids either. Just like Cocaine Bear, kids never die. Yeah, it also has Andrew Pine or whatever his name is, Andrew Pine. They're good actors in this, and yeah, so that's all I gotta say about Grizzly Bear. Good movie, check it out. It's probably streaming on Tubi. So, next movie, Cocaine Bear. All right, so Cocaine Bear. This was directed by Elizabeth Banks, and this is based on a true story. I'm not sure how true it is. I didn't do my research. I'm sure it's exaggerated. Maybe there was a cocaine bear, but it maybe like killed one person. In this movie, of course, it kills like a dozen people. But yeah, so the plot synopsis is: an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine and gets addicted to the cocaine. And yeah, so finally a great killer bear movie that we haven't had in decades. Like, when was the last good killer bear movie? Was it Grizzly 40 years ago? Like, it's been forever. I'm sure there's been a lot of shitty like sci-fi original low budget bear movies since, but that I haven't seen, nor will I. But it's like, finally we got a great creature feature in the theaters, and I had a blast with this one. I really enjoyed this. Much prefer this over Grizzly. As much as I just said Grizzly was a good movie, this is a great one. Like, this is the better movie, Cocaine Bear. This has way more gore, high body count. It's funny. It's from the writer of The Babysitter 2, Killer Queen. And my one complaint with the movie, why I didn't rate it higher, is because of the first act. I thought the humor was not landing almost at all in the first act. I was actually getting worried in the theater, like, is this as good as it gets? I was like that kid in Jason Lives. If this is as good as it gets, we're in big trouble, dude. Like, the jokes just were not landing. Like, they're spending so much time like setting up all these different storylines. You got the detective, the drug dealers, the kids, the mom, the park rangers. They got all these different things going on, and a lot of the jokes there just weren't working for me. Like, this guy with his tattoo, he just had a breakup, and his Acting wasn't all that good. And then the detective dude with the girly dog, like that's supposed to be funny. Like, oh, he's a guy and he's got this girly dog and it's got like the pink ribbon on its head and it's just so feminine. And it's not funny to me. And he just I don't know, like there was just some dialogue there and jokes in the beginning that I was just like, ooh, this isn't funny at all. But then it got funnier and funnier as it went on and more violent. The ambulance scene in the trailer, that was the highlight of the film, best scene. And, good gore. It does shy away in a couple of little moments that disappointed me. Like, oh, I thought it was about to get more, vicious and more gory in a couple of moments. But we just kind of see like blood dripping into frame, like falling on this guy's face. But we don't actually see like what's happening. But then we get a brutal moment right after that. And so, yeah, there's enough gore in here. There could always be more, but if you just want to see a killer bear movie where there's a high body count, gore, and lots of jokes, this is the movie for you. It knows what it is. It doesn't try to be serious for a bit. You got Ray Liotta, one of his last roles before he died, and the CG on the bear looked good because that could have killed this movie if it was like low budget, like horribly done CG on the bear. That could have just taken you right out of the movie the entire time. But it looked pretty convincing. Like it seemed like there was actually a bear there. I doubt they used a real one. There was no shot where I was like, that actually does look like a real bear. But I know CGI when I see it, and it was definitely a CGI bear, but it wasn't like a bad CGI bear. Like so. Thank God for that because that could have ruined the movie. It's set in the 80s, so you got an 80s soundtrack, like pop and rock songs from like the early mid 80s. I think it's set in 85. I like the kid characters. The kid actors were actually good kid actors. And one of them's actually done quite a lot of work. I looked him up. He's on like 20, he has like 20 credits already. So good child actors. I wish the one kid was in the movie more. She kind of like just disappears in the second act, doesn't come back until the finale. I was like, oh, I wish they would have just cut back to her character a little bit more, see what's going on with her, where she's at. I mean, you gotta suspend disbelief, of course. Like it's unbelievable what's happening, what this cocaine bear is able to do, how it catches up to an ambulance driving like very fast on the road. Like how fast can a bear run, especially when it's like 500 pounds? But maybe that's the cocaine; it makes it run faster. I don't know. But yeah, like I had a lot of fun with this one, so I highly recommend it. I give it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Really, really enjoyed it. So, Cocaine Bear, one of my favorites of the year now, probably my second favorite. So let's get rid of that. All right, so 18 minutes in. All right, so let's do the Alien franchise ranking. Now, the last time I watched these movies was back in November, so I can't talk in great detail about each movie because my memory's shit. I don't remember everything about these movies. So let's just go through this ranking kind of quickly. So, all right, my bottom. Oh, I'm going to include the Alien versus Predator movies as well. So, speaking of which, my number 8, Alien versus Predator. That's my least favorite. It's PG-13. Why would they do that? Why would you take two R-rated franchises, put them together, and make a PG-13 movie? It was just bad. And the sound design, I remember hating the sounds in this movie. Like, that can hurt a movie too. You gotta have a good score and sound design in a horror movie. And in this one, the aliens sounded like pigs, and the predators sounded like grizzly bears. Back to bears again. Like, it just took me out of the movie. And so, yeah, just PG-13. Why? That just really hurt this film. And then they're like trying to make Predator like the good guy. Like she's got to team up with the Predator to take down the alien. It's kind of like Freddy versus Jason. They did the same thing. We got to team up with Jason to take down Freddy. The lesser of two evils. So my number 7 is Alien Covenant. A lot of these movies I've only seen once. 3, I mean, I've seen the AVP movies probably the most, but I've seen Alien 1 and 2 twice, and all the other sequels I've seen once. So that's another reason why I can't talk too much about these movies because my memory's shit. But I did write down some notes for this one. All right, so Alien Covenant from 2017. Did Ridley Scott direct this one? Yeah, he did. All right, so I thought this had the most cliche, predictable twist ending. I did not like the end of this movie. It's like you saw it coming a mile away. And they should have brought back Shaw. And new characters are just cannon fodder in this one. I don't like any new characters. The CGI got worse, but it's gorier than Prometheus. The robot clones kiss and play the flute. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I guess I thought that was funny. There's robot clones in this, and they start kissing and play flutes together. Uh, I thought there was some pacing issues. There's albino aliens in this one, and Danny McBride is in this, and I thought his wife character, the wife in his wife in this movie was a complete moron. So there you go. Alien Covenant. Number 6, Alien 3, directed by David Fincher. So in this one, they freaking take the surviving characters of part 2 and they kill them off like right away in the opening credits in their sleep. So immediately I was like, fuck that. Newt Hicks, dead. They deserve better. It goes back to Alien 1, like with just one alien threat, so it's not like bigger and badder like part 2 like try to like ramp it up, have a lot more action, a lot more aliens, doubling everything. It just goes back to one alien this time around, but it's like more evolved. And we got Marco Beltrami. Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. Beltrami. Marco Beltrami, who did the Scream franchise, the music there. And oh wait, no, I don't think he did. I'd say it sounds like him. I don't think he did the music for this movie, but the music sounds like his kind of music from like the Scream films. So maybe he didn't do it, but it sounds like it. This one has some gory deaths, definitely more bloody and gory than the first two movies. But the aliens look worse this time around. The CG on the aliens when they're like running down the halls, chasing the prisoners, and this is like a futuristic prison with no guns. Like you got like all these criminals, but with the guards have no guns whatsoever. Like that just sounds stupid. There's a dog that gets killed in this one. We get a chest burster and a dog, so that was different. We got the isolated prison setting. Filled with a bunch of horny rapists, of course, trying to, what's her name? Ripley, whatever. That Ridley is the director, right? So Ripley. I always mix those two names in my head, like Ripley, not Ridley. So yeah, they're like trying to rape Ripley the whole time, and everyone's got shaved heads and barcode tattoos. The alien is killed by like hot lead, mixed with water, whatever the fuck. The ending very much felt like Terminator 2, just lowering, like she like has to sacrifice herself like Arnold. And then yeah, we get the bishop reveal at the end, which was obvious. And yeah, the love interest dies right away. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. All right, so moving on. Number 5, Prometheus, another Ridley Scott film. All right, so tremendous cast. Really like all these actors, very recognizable cast, amazing visual effects and sets. This movie looks beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful looking movie in the franchise. A little too long though, and again, it's just a bit predictable. Just the things they reveal later in the movie. It's like, oh, this is, supposed to be shocking. It's like, I saw that coming. No gore in this one. Hardly any alien creatures, and sets up sequel, and we get no answers to the questions the characters came there for. They came for giant humans. Wait, I don't know what I'm writing there. But there's questions I had at the end of this. So yeah, that left me a little disappointed. Like they went there for these, they went there with questions. They never got their answers, and I'm stuck here wondering, like, well, what the fuck? Like, why this and why that? And we never really get those answers in this one. So that really hurt the movie. Number 4, Alien Resurrection. This is the Halloween resurrection, I guess, of this franchise, because a lot of people seem to not like this one, but I actually really like it. This is 200 years later after the third one. Ripley is cloned in this one, and so we got Android Ripley, and the U.S. government finally got their wish and are experimenting and studying the aliens. We got Brad Dourif in it, but unfortunately he's like the first one to like die, quote unquote. Like we think he's dead, and then he kind of comes back for a second later on. So that was a shame. I wanted to see him in the movie a lot more because I'm a huge Chucky fan. Love Brad Dourif. Um, we got General is over the top, and the death was played silly, whatever that means. The General character, I guess, I didn't like him. You got space pirates in this, like grunts in part two, but less likable characters. Fantastic effects though, and a new hybrid alien looked pretty cool. CGI much improved over part three and less used this time. Death of hybrid is what we should have seen in Jason X. Good pace, some gore, and it ends on Earth, which I guess set it up for the next movie, Prometheus, right? All right, number three. Alien vs. Predator Requiem. This is a very hated movie, underrated. I really like this one. It's what I wanted the first Alien vs. Predator movie to be. A rated R, gory, just bloodbath with the aliens and predators fighting each other the whole time. Like the predator is loose on the town, trying to hunt down these aliens and clean up the mess, make it look like there was nothing ever there, like just leave no trace of alien shit behind. And this one has a lot of violence in it, like people's faces melting. It opens up with a kid and his dad getting killed while hunting. It's vicious. It's so mean spirited. I believe there's even like pregnant women later on that have chest bursters in them. It's brutal. And then like the love interest towards the very end, just out of nowhere, like she just gets killed so like it's shocking. Like my jaw dropped. Like this thing just comes by and pins her to the wall. It just kind of happens so matter of fact, like, oh shit, now she's dead, and they just keep going. Like, I love that. And it's got the guy from Final Destination 2, one of the chicks from Final Destination 3. And so, yeah, a lot of recognizable people. Everyone complains about the cinematography being too dark. I disagree. I can see everything. I got the Blu-ray. Everything was visible to me. I could see every frame. In fact, I love the cinematography in this movie. I thought it looked really good. There's a lot of cool shots. It's lit realistically. Like the power goes out, the whole town is in the dark. It's nighttime. It would look dark, especially when they're in the sewers. Like there's no lights down there, so yeah, it would be dark. I'm glad it's dark because if it was overlit, I would have issue with that more than it being too dark. I just don't think it's that dark. Everyone likes to like post pictures of just a black screen and say, it's like a joke, like, oh, look, I'm watching Alien versus Predator Requiem, and it's just a black screen. It's like, it's not that dark, all right? So fucking give it another watch. I think those people just haven't seen it since the theater, and that's just their memory of it. Or they're just reposting shit they see other people, and they're like, yeah, I agree. It's like, no, watch it again, form your own opinion, because trust me, it's not that dark. It is not. The tone is dark. It's brutal. It's very mean-spirited, but the lighting is not that dark. Number two is, and my number two and number one, they're tied. Same rating for both of them. They're both equally amazing. Number two, for now, will be Aliens. James Cameron's Aliens. I talked about this movie on my 1986 ranking. Really enjoyed the movie. I think it's fantastic. It does what a sequel should do. It goes bigger and badder. A lot more aliens. A tremendous cast in this as well. Bill Paxton. His character is actually a little annoying. He's like the very talkative grunt, always like trying to crack jokes, and he's always like, "Oh my gosh, we're fucked, we're fucked, we're fucked." Like he's, that kind of character, and he's just like, "Shut up!" Like someone slap him, but just great sets and great practical effects in this one. The look of the aliens that fight at them when she's in like that robot thing, whatever, that robot suit. Get away from her, you bitch, and goes after the alien. Like all that stuff, amazing. So yeah, Aliens number two. But my number one is the original Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. This movie, the only issue I have with it is that the first act is a little slow. It's just a little slow in the first, in the beginning when it sets up all the characters. It's probably one of the slowest movies of the franchise, but it's still, to me, one of the best because of the characters and, their chemistry together. The surprise with that, the chest burster scene and the way that's done. Just this movie looks great, and the score, I think Jerry Goldsmith does the score for this one. Fantastic score and fantastic composer. Wish he did all these movies. So yeah, I mean, what can I say about Alien that hasn't already been said? It's fantastic. It's damn near perfect. It's definitely like a 9.5 out of 10. I don't want to give it that perfect rating yet. I've only seen it twice. If I watch it again and again, I still keep liking it, maybe like it even more, I'll get there to that perfect rating. But for right now, Alien and Aliens, I would give like, a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Not quite there at 5 out of 5 just yet. But yeah, that's my ranking of the Alien franchise. Now let me know what your guys' ranking is in the comments below. I'm debating if I even want to do this Alien quiz because I don't remember much about the franchise. If I do this Alien quiz, I'll probably get one question right. And I've already been talking for 30 minutes, and this is usually as long as I want to go. But here, I'll just breeze right through these. If I can't answer them, I won't answer them, but I'll let you guys answer them. So I'll just ask these questions for you. How well do you guys know the Alien franchise? So let me test your knowledge. All right, so 20 questions. I'll try to go through this as fast as I can. All right, so which famous tagline appeared on the theatrical poster for Alien? The famous tagline wasn't like no one can hear you scream in space or something like that. In space, no one can hear you scream. And then like Killer Clowns from Outer Space had like a joke version of it. Like in space, no one can eat ice cream or something like that. Question number 2. What is the name of the derelict moon that the crew of the Nostromo land on an Alien? Is it? Oh, this is multiple choice. I'm having a hard time pronouncing these words. Fiornia 161, LV 223, or LV 426. I don't fucking know. I'm not even gonna take a guess. What's the name of the moon that the crew lands on? Whatever. So number 3, before the alien hatches out of him, what does Kane say is the first thing he's going to do when he gets home? This is the first alien, right? Kane. He probably says something. They're like eating. I think he says something like, "I'm gonna go home and eat." Like I think he's talking about food, or maybe fucking his wife, something like that. Number 4. Though not referred to by name, what is the common name used for the alien pilot sitting in the crashed spacecraft in Alien? Fuck if I know. I don't know. What is the common name used for this alien pilot? I forget. Which character kills Ash in Alien? There's an Ash? Is that Bruce Campbell? Was he in this? No. Which character kills Ash? I don't know. The android dude? If it wasn't an alien, it was probably that android dude. Whatever. Question number 6. What is the name of the human colony taken over by the xenomorphs and aliens? Again, I haven't seen this movie in a while. It's been a few months. I don't remember the name of the colony. Was it Earth 2? I don't know. In the director's cut, special edition of Aliens, I haven't seen the director's cut. I've only seen the theatrical version of Aliens. What is Ellen Ripley's daughter's name revealed to be? She has a daughter? See, I don't know. Is that only in the director's cut? Maybe it's. I can't even take a guess. Whatever. Number 8. Why are the Marines told not to fire the weapons in Aliens? Probably because they want to take the aliens alive and study them. Maybe that. Oh wait, no, it's gonna cause like an explosion, right? Like their guns, the way they're designed, like in that area, it's like gonna cause an explosion. The bullets, something like that. All right, so where are we? Number 9. Which event makes Hudson say his famous line, "Game over, man"? Is that Bill Paxton? Yeah. Which event makes him say that? Was it like after their like rescue ship, like they're about to get picked up and it like crashes next to them? Something like that. Number 10. One of the working titles for the original Alien script by Dan O'Bannon was Star Beast. True or false? Star Beast. It sounds corny. Probably false. I would say false. Which 4 characters survived the events in Aliens? I gotta list all 4 characters' names. Well, Ripley, Newt, was it Hicks, and Lance Henriksen, his character, whatever his name was. Bishop, was it? Um, in the theatrical cut, again, there's the theatrical and directors of this. I've only seen the theatrical. In the theatrical cut of Alien 3, the alien gestates inside a dog. What does it gestate inside in the assembly cut of the film featured on the DVD and Blu ray box set? I don't know. What is the nickname given to the xenomorph in Alien 3 by the character Golic? I don't know. Fuckface? I don't know what he calls it. Number 14. Approximately how many years after the events of Alien 3 is Alien Resurrection? 100, 200, 300. I just said it. It was in my notes, right? 200. It was 200 years. Which accomplished TV and film writer and director wrote the screenplay for Alien Resurrection? I don't know. It wasn't David Fincher, right? So that was Alien 3. Resurrection. I don't even know who directed that. Which of the Alien movies am I describing? There's a waterfall, some cave paintings, an android, a flamethrower, and an alien baby. I'm gonna guess Prometheus. Which classic movie is David rather fond of in Prometheus? I don't know. I don't know. Dancing in the Rain, Singing in the Rain. What's that movie called? That Christmas one? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like really old movies. I can't even think of their titles, but I'm sure I'm way off. Which contemporary horror movie star? Which contemporary horror movie star appears in the flashback scenes in Prometheus as Elizabeth Shaw's father? Oh, fuck. I don't know. This is the worst quiz yet. I don't know shit. But like I said, I haven't seen these movies since November, and I've only seen them like once, all these movies. So, before its name was changed to Alien Covenant, what was the movie's title originally announced as? I don't know. Prometheus 2. At the end of Alien Covenant, how does Daniels realize that the android putting her into stasis is actually David and not Walter? That does sound familiar. That was the twist, right? I said that was predictable. Like she finds out, like, oh my gosh, it's not who I thought it was. It's like, well, you knew it. I knew it wasn't. I think she says something that David would have known, or Walter, whichever the character was. You know, she brings up something and he just stares at her like, I don't know what you're talking about. So because he doesn't know what she's talking about, she's like, oh shit, well then that means that you're not really, this person. So that's how she figured it out. But yeah, that's the quiz. I failed miserably. I probably got one or two right. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all these movies I've talked about: Cocaine Bear, Grizzly, Alien franchise. Let me know if you guys did better than me on the quiz. I'm sure you did. And until next time, next time will be the Scream movie. I'm just assuming here, right? It comes out next week. So next episode will be about the Scream films. I'll probably do a Scream quiz, and I'll talk about Scream 6 and some horror updates, then some upcoming releases and shit like that. So, yeah, until next time, see you.